Afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today, and thanks to Ashbourne for putting on such a great event. I'm not going to bore you to tears. I'm sure you are pretty tired at this stage in the day, so we're going to run through it. A little bit about me. I started out as a one-to-one personal trainer. I quickly realized that I outgrew my environment. I outgrew the gym I was in. I had a long list of clients. From that, then I discovered the semi-private personal training model. So I've spent a lot of time extensively with Alan Cosgrove. He was one of the main guys to set up the semi-private model in around 20 years ago now. And, the industry has moved so fast, even from the last 5 years, the whole landscape of fitness has changed massively. So we've been really hammering the semi-private model. I coach a lot of gym owners inside what's called Fitness Entrepreneur. It's a massive fitness business mastermind, and Phil Graham runs that. So we deal with a lot of online coaches, a lot of semi-private coaching businesses, and we also then deal with the personal training side of things as well. So for us, it's a totally different model and concept for what a lot of you guys run as big independent clubs. But I really do feel like from outside looking in, there's so much money on the table and so many gaps in service where you can easily plug this model in, give your trainers more fulfillment, have them earn more compensation, but also give them a bit more independence within your gym. And from that, then you're obviously able to scale revenue, scale people that help, and most importantly, improve the overall customer experience that you're delivering, which for me is at the paramount of actually having a brick and mortar facility. I think if customer experience isn't at the forefront of what you're doing, then, essentially I don't really understand why people get into the game then, because there's always going to be more competition popping up around you. But if you are at the absolute peak of service, of experience, of results, you're always going to rise to the top, in my opinion, and then just from my experience. So let me get this clicker. So today we're just going to really dive into retention, just strategies around retention, around how you can boost and overall improve the experience to what you're currently delivering. So for us, facts not feelings. You'll not feel your way to a better fitness business effectively. It really is going to come down to what the numbers are you happy right now, and most importantly, what are you getting from your business? And that's always going to come down to, is what you're doing right now working or not, or are there gaps and blind spots? So the goal of this talk today is to uncover any blind spots that you may have and give you something to think about that you can implement that's going to overall improve what you're currently doing. So common considerations on blind spots that we see. Really simple for us, but do you have a client check-in system in place for, actively recruiting client feedback? How often do you guys recruit client feedback for your members? Show of hands, how often do you guys survey your clients? Is it once a quarter? Show of hands, how many? Once a quarter? Outside of once a quarter, is it a 6-month thing? Is it a yearly thing? Or is it something that you guys aren't currently doing? Just on a pulse check on that. No, so it's a gap for people then. So something really, really simple, but if you actively recruit and ask for feedback from your members, you're going to very quickly see things that you can do to improve your customer experience. Secondly then, are you promoting community building events? So if I joined your gym in the morning, do you have an events calendar that's lined up over a 12-month period? Do you have email campaigns wrapped around this? Are these events in line with the demographic that's within your gym? So for us, we'll put on wine and cheese nights. We do retreats, we do a whole host of different things, but it's all in line with our demo. So we've specifically trained people over the ages of 35 to about 60 probably the upper limit for us. But that's been our demo for the last 10 years. So we lean into more professional people. And for us, we want to give them events that for me, it's like creating dinner time conversations. So things that they'll talk to their friends about, things to get excited about, things to network with other, obviously, members of the community about them. But for us, that really drives experience. It really extends LTV, which is a huge thing for gyms. And it's something that I see that people don't actively do. So if you don't have an events calendar that's laid out over a 12-month period, if you were able to put something like that in to end the year, you're going to really build more excitement around the community within the gym as well. And then, have you identified the common reasons that people churn? So what are the 3 to 5 main reasons that people churn, and do you have objective handling in place for this? One of the biggest ways to reduce churn has been simply setting up an exit interview. So if somebody wanted to leave the business for whatever reason, if we're able to set up an exit interview, it makes life really easy for us to maybe get to the underlying issue. In some cases, people churn, but it's usually a cry for help because they want more. There's something that they're not getting. So if we're able to overcome the objection and actually then reactivate like why they joined in the first place. It's going to again extend the LTV, but also build a better experience for, you know, the customers that are actually using the service, you know. For us then, do you have a system for recognizing and rewarding loyalty? So if I've did 100 sessions, 200 sessions, 300 sessions in your business, if I've referred 5 clients, you know, is there any incentive or is there any loyalty program in there that's going to incentivize me to stay within the company? Or are you looking after me more than just, you know, someone who's paying on a monthly basis? Because again, the more we kind of sit on the side of the fence as the customer, the more we look at the business through their eyes, through are they getting bang for their buck, through how their service looks, through how the team, how the people within the business ultimately communicate with them. It's going to make a huge difference for us. Again, extending LTV. It's one of the biggest things for us, especially as independent gyms. We want to have high levels of LTV, but we also want to have high levels of customer satisfaction. But if we're not actively recruiting satisfaction, if we're not actively making our gym something that you would actually want to be part of, that you would want to join, that you would want to tell your friends about, that you would want to refer people to, there's going to be gaps. And lastly, really simple one on that, do you get better results faster than your competition? So if I joined your gym versus the gym around the corner, you know, are you going to effectively get me better results faster? Because that, for me, people don't join a gym for the sake of joining a gym. They join a gym for a result. They join a gym for a specific reason. But if we don't uphold our end of the bargain and do everything we can to actively make sure that these guys are progressing, they're happy, they're making forward progress, they're looking like the industry has got way more sophisticated. The consumer is way more sophisticated now. That's why we're seeing so much more involvement from people who, you know, they want to optimize their lifestyle. Like I know Phil's did a talk there and he's talked on all things sleep optimization, but there's so much more sophistication in the market because people are really driving productivity within not just their own life, but in their professional life. And the people that join the type of gym that I run, so I run a semi-private gym, so it's all personal training, but our customers are really forward thinking. They want to be at the upper echelon of the market. They want to know that they're getting everything possible so that they can become more productive, they can feel better, they can look better, they can set good values and standards for their kids, but also they want to be leading from the front and they want a tangible return on their investment of how they look, feel and perform across the board. So as long as we're ticking them boxes and as long as we're thinking outside of, you know, what the competitors are doing, we're always going to stay ahead. So again, when churn is high, so when you don't have things in place that are actually keeping churn low. So for me, acceptable churn for us at maximum is going to be 6%. And if it goes to 6%, something has happened inside the business if it's climbed to that. But for us, we pride ourselves on our attrition. On our attrition year round, we try to keep it between 3 and 4%. There obviously is the odd time of year. I know December is typically a time of year where people's cancellations do go up. But if you have things that are actively in place for people to get excited about, to look forward to, then them cancellations are going to drop and your attrition is going to stay healthy. So again, a simple way to do that is going to be running like a nice Christmas event. Like what have you got to look forward to on your calendar? So for us, really simple. We put everyone in branded t-shirts. We'll go and do a park run. We'll bring maybe 60 people to the local park run, all on brand. And then from that, then we hire like a really nice venue. So we host like a nice Christmas dinner, but we host our dinner as an awards night, whereby people get rewarded and incentivized based on, you know, the value that they've added to the community, to the gym, and just to everyone around them. So it's a nice way to build rapport with your clients as well. And again, it creates that dinner time conversation where people now talk. And again, we'll just simply, with our marketing inside that, we'll bring a videographer and a photographer to the park run and then to the dinner. And then what that's going to create is marketing for us throughout the entirety of December, which then it's just going to open up the pipeline for January leads and sales. So when your churn is high, typically the founder is going to experience higher stress. And for me, your energy, creativity, all that is just paramount for you running and operating at your best. But if churn is constantly spiking and members are constantly leaving, that's something that we want to really keep an eye on. And a couple of things on that. So if you have a pocket of space where members are leaving, the business is going to look and feel lighter, which is definitely not something we want. But when that happens, then you can typically spook the horses. And what I mean by spook the horses, the rule of thumb for me when it comes to personal training clients, for every 100 clients you have, 60 are going to be rock solid, going absolutely nowhere. You're going to have 20 potentially on the fence, thinking about staying, thinking about leaving, and you're going to have 20 on the way out. but it's what we do inside our service, what we do inside our business, how proactive we are is going to mean that, effectively these things don't get affected to the level where, 3 people leave and then 4 people follow and then 4 people follow after that. And that's a real problem that people face when they don't have things really tight inside their processes, inside their market, and inside their delivery. So for us then, this is where people get lost. They recognize that there's blind spots, why people leave, but they don't do anything about it. And then they repeat the same problem over and over again. So for us, it's making sure that we're not having repeatable issues within the business, and that, again, service is at the forefront. So again, if that does happen, if you have uncovered blind spots, for me, it's always about using that as clean fuel to operate from, to move away from what you don't want and toward what you do want. So identifying and adapting in a changing landscape is key for growth and longevity. You can always do something to move forward. It's not about freezing, it's about moving forward, it's about making progress, it's about actively improving the service. So key principles to boost retention. Like I said, the market is more sophisticated, people are doing their homework more, and they do expect a lot more bang for their buck, which is to be expected. And when you're charging higher prices, when you have the people coming into the business expecting more, it's really, really important that you do everything you can to promote that they're getting a high ROI on, their investment of time, money, and effort through training with you guys. So for me, I've just laid out some apps that I think are really useful that you could plug into your community to improve the service as well. But I really believe that you can genuinely solve a lot of problems in your business by actually speaking to your customers more. I know typically a lot of the independent gyms are more standoffish, especially if you're managing lower cost membership and it is about mass numbers. But I really do think speaking to your customers is paramount for you getting ahead and actually looking at your business through your customers' eyes as well. So one thing for me would be, how often are you actively speaking to your customers about the experience that you actually deliver inside a gym? Something really, really simple, but I do feel like when people do this more, they get better feedback and they're able to act on that feedback a lot faster. And then for us then, when it's coming to technology, I always look at technology that's going to drive product and experience. So here's some simple things that we do. Things like the Kahunas app. Have any of you guys heard of the Kahunas app? It's pretty popular with online coaches. But what we're able to do through the Kahunas app, we're able to individually program for the people that use our gym. They effectively have a personal trainer in their pocket. And this means that they can use the gym by themselves competently without risk of getting injured, but also they're able to get better results faster because we're strategically programming around their wants and needs. For example, if I had someone that needed shoulder rehab, I can send her to the physio can send us a report back, and then we can plug the rehab inside their Kahunas app, and they can then work through the physio with the team and also with the physio as well. But it just means that they're getting way more from their experience because we have gone the extra mile to sort out the programming so that it's in line with what they actually want to achieve. Things like school. So a lot of people, I'm sure, any of you guys still using Facebook groups and stuff like that? No? Okay. Well, we use the school community. School is Alex Hormozy's baby, really. And what we're able to do in that is just host our entire community. So we can run a customer journey through the school community. So when you join our gym, you'll be basically onboarded inside school. What we'll have inside that is a course and a syllabus for you to go through where it's like simple training videos, recipes, absolutely everything you could think of when it comes to training, sleep, stress management, nutrition. So making sure that we cover all the boxes for our members that again, it's going to improve their experience, it's going to extend their LTV, and they're going to feel like they're getting a lot more bang for their buck. Outside of that, really simple, just welcome packs. I'm sure you guys have branded welcome packs that go out to your clients. But when you're charging premium prices, it's really important that everything is on brand, everything looks and feels premium as well. I'm big into that. Thank you cards again. We do thank you card campaigns 4 times a year. Every coach writes a personalized message to all the clients in the business. This could be anything. I try and keep it as specific to the individual as possible so that we can recognize something that they've done, recognize some achievement, and just show that, we appreciate you. It's a really important way for us then to show them that we care. But also, if you are strategic with it, you could double your member base by simply having a referral card in there. And when you know that people come into your business, they get a great service, they get a great experience. When you're going the extra mile to show people how much you care, it's going to be very easy for them to want to, send someone your way. who's also going to benefit from the experience and service that you deliver. Another thing then, like we'll always do flowers for special occasions, if there's a death in the family, a wedding, something like that, but it's just a nice touch for people to say, well, I never thought they cared that much, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So if you're proactive with how you're making your members feel, you're going to improve their experience, you're going to boost your reputation, you're going to get more Google reviews, you're going to have more people referring friends. It's simple things, but it goes a long way. And then for us, we'll go as far as, like, we'll have flowers at reception, so we've got a florist on a retainer who trains with us, who's always, bringing new flowers in on a weekly basis. But again, it improves the customer experience. And like I said, for our demo, who appreciate the gym with no mirrors in it, that feels more like a home, more like a 5-star hotel, these are the small touches that we owe it to them to uphold. And then just simple things then, like branded towels and other, you could go into the branding thing a million different ways, but they're just some really simple things that we use. With branded towels, we'll have branded towels at every rack, so anytime you come into the gym to do a training session, you'll have a branded towel to wipe everything down and keep the place clean. Really simple. So again, for us, we use our best clients as ambassadors to spread the word. So do any of you guys have any influencers in your gym or anything like that? Show of hands, any influencers in your gym? No? Again, something really simple, guys. You look at a local influencer that has 120,000 on their Instagram. They're all local accounts. Like, how much you would have to pay to get their eyeballs, it's invaluable for an influencer coming into your gym who's getting a great service, who's getting great results, who's made a dramatic transformation, to then their audience. All of a sudden, that's going to generate 5-6 leads a week. Let's say you close 4 to 5 of them. Really simple. And this is, again, another gap. If you don't have local influencers in your gym, 1, why? And 2, like, who are they? And 3, when are they going to join? Because it's definitely low-hanging fruit that you can easily tap into that's going to grow your gym. So when it comes to our ambassadors, what we expect from them, it's really simple. We'll just expect them to post reels, post behind the scenes of what their training looks like, what they're doing, why they're doing it, great experiences that they've had. And again, when they come to events, they bring friends to the events, which them friends then turn into members that then refer more members. So it's just a healthy ecosystem where you have brand ambassadors, secret shoppers, people that want to add value to the community because of how much value the community adds to them. Is this landing okay, guys? Making sense all right? You with me? Yes? No, you're tired. So again, for us, something really simple, but do as much business to business locally as you can. So again, having the florists on board. When we host our wine and cheese night, we host them with the local off-license who have a really nice setup. But little simple things like that. There's business to business everywhere. Something as simple as running a local lead magnet ad. So let's say you wanted more local entrepreneurs in your business. If you built out a lead magnet, let's say something that you uncovered, the 3 to 5 biggest problems that local entrepreneurs have that train with us. From that, then you're able to add a lot of value to them. They can download it, get a bit of a cheat sheet, and then from that you get a QR code which links directly to a book a call form where people can then book a call with you, a discovery call, get on the call with them, unpack their challenges, and then set them up for success within your community, within your gym, within your fitness business. It's kind of a little bit online, but again, I think if you're just an online personal trainer or an online business, I definitely feel like there's a lot of business to business can still be done, and most people kind of stay away from it for whatever reason, but there's definitely a lot of scope there to just be going and even having conversations with more local businesses. There's a lot of corporate money out there. There's a lot of money set aside for tax purposes as well. And this is, again, money that is easy distributed inside your gym. If you go and do a seminar, you go and do a workshop, it's a really nice way for you guys to boost memberships and, most importantly, like, connect within the local community. Retreats. Any of you guys run retreats in your fitness businesses? No? Okay, so again, retreats, really nice way to give people something to look forward to. We did Portugal, so took all the clients to Portugal. We did kayaking, we did fine dining, we did a whole host of other activities. But this, for me, creates stickiness inside your community. This, to me, is creating conversations that go way beyond the gym. They create relationships that go way beyond the gym. And again, it's a far better way for you to create talking points within the local community about your business. These actually aren't that difficult to do. There's a lot of companies have it set up where it's done for you. But again, for connecting with your members, from getting feedback through driving results, it's low-hanging fruit that you could easily put on to make your gym more of a talking point. Again, bringing local influencers to something like that, it's only going to drive memberships. It's only going to boost ROI. It's only going to boost your bottom line, sorry. So for us, huge ROI, great for retention, great for experience, and great for team culture. Creation phrase. So I've just got some questions that I wanted you guys to just have a look at and work through. I know you are all kind of smoked, but just as a pulse check, guys, if you can jot down these questions, because I would like to get a bit of interaction from you, so I might just hand the mic to a couple of people here. But what does retention look like over the last 6 months? Average attrition. What's one lesson worth sharing? What's one thing that you've learned from attrition that you believe is going to help someone else in this room? What's one thing you could have handled better? What's missing right now from your facility? What do you do really well? Again, something for us all to learn from. If we're in this room, you're here to learn. So, there's people in this room doing things really well, and I would encourage you to share it, because that's ultimately how you're going to inspire other people to move things forward. And what can we all learn from your philosophy? So as a fitness business owner, what is your philosophy, and what can we actually take from that? So guys, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here to jot down these. I'll give you like 2 minutes, 3 minutes on the clock, and I'm just going to put mics in your hand, because no one wants to talk today. Okay, so I'm going to pick on my first table here. Let's see. A friendly face. So, give me one thing we can all learn from your philosophy.
Well, my philosophy is believe, be strong, be happy, and it's helping clients to believe in themselves. And I think that's one thing that I work with a lot of women, and I think it's one thing that they don't believe they can change their lives. They don't believe they can make a difference. So yeah, I think that's one thing. It's helping them believe that anything is possible.
So what's one thing you do to help them connect the dots to go from not believing in themselves to actually believing in themselves?
It's showing them the path and guiding them along the way.
Nice, awesome, thank you. Right, let's see. Boys, I'm going to have to pick on you here. Who's up? Let's see. What's one thing that you do really, really well?
Support clients.
You want to take that?
Just lately I've just been more touch points instead of like a weekly check-in. It's just every few days, just checking in, more touch points with people. I've seen it's far better for me for retention.
And what do them touch points look like?
It could be a simple conversation. You have your official check-in, say, on a Monday, but then just no one that comes up in the app, just looking in, checking their station, and then just looking over, maybe they had a PR or a PB.
Acknowledging progress.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Not just physical, but no, and the mental side of things
Yeah.
as well, how they perform and stuff.
Fantastic, thank you so much. Okay. Yes? Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Right, I have to pick on this table here. Let's see. What's one lesson worth sharing from this year?
I love the way she just had
I know, she set you up there.
From this year,
Yeah.
for us, it was building a better structure for those staff members that come in at that junior level. And rather than kind of, I suppose, making it harder for them to grow within the facility, we facilitated with them and worked with them. We built, so they're coming in off maybe a basic course that they've done. So we would then lead them to a higher level by working with them, training with them, getting them into classes and building them a better structure where they were becoming better fitness instructors that we could then use to our advantage. So,
absolutely. So
yeah, it's definitely helped with staff retention in the last year for sure.
It's massive for CPD. Like if your coaches don't have aspirations to go further, to learn more, to add more value, it's going to become very stale for them, and then their compensation is obviously based off, their ability to drive sales, grow the business, deliver a better experience. But if you're actively training your team to give more, to do more, to be better, again, it's only going to improve experience. Again, as a founder, how much more at ease do you feel knowing your team are able to operate at the level that you actually want, not just for the business, but for them and for the customers? Massively helps, yeah. Cool. All right, let me see, I'll take one more. Let's see.
That's one maximum word.
What's missing right now then inside your business? Inside your fitness business? Oh, yeah, their staff are missing. Give us one thing that's missing right now then.
Missing.
Just in, what could you do? You know, where's the gap? Do you see a gap? Where is it? What are you going to do about it?
I think the big thing that we're focusing on is just actually members' experience at the moment for all sort of six-pack clubs.
So what's missing inside the experience at the minute?
Well, we just need to do maybe a bit more sort of surveys with our members, work closer with our members, and just actually improve and grow on what we've already done. Because across Dublin, as I said, we have a crazy amount of members and we're doing well, which is always room for improvement.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. And we've got one more set of questions here, so again, I'll go through with you guys. Really simple. But one, how often do you revisit your customer journey? So from the minute I apply to become a member right through to, you know, the 2-year mark or a year mark, what does that customer journey look like? Do you have it in the pipeline? You know, has it been built out? When was the last time significant changes have been made inside the business? Be that reinvestment, be that team. It could come down to a multitude of things there, guys. What did you change and why then? Like, what has had a significant impact inside the changes that you've made? From us then, what does the future of your product look like? So based on where your business is heading, based on the industry consistently evolving, as we know, you know, what are you actually looking at when it comes to the future of your business? And then, again, I'll cover the last bit in a second. We'll keep it really simple. So guys, I'll give you like 60 seconds on this one again. I'll just blitz through the tables. I gotta do it. Okay, right guys, so we're gonna go through a few of these guys. Okay, so what changes have you made and why?
Well, just recently, about 3 months ago, we've changed over our software. So we went to Ashbourne Management. And I want to say it's the single best thing we've done for the business.
That's a blatant pitch. Well done. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's a good one for you guys. So what does the future of your product look like?
Bright, I hope. Yeah, I suppose good. We're kind of always expanding, always adding new products, always looking at new ideas, always looking to see what everybody else is doing. Never stopping, I suppose, is probably us. So I don't expect us to stop anytime soon. So keep evolving, keep adding, keep getting rid of stuff that doesn't work, but just keep on it.
Well, what was the one thing then that you've kind of got rid of then and that you've replaced with, or has there been anything specific this year that you feel like more gyms should do this?
I suppose this year now we're focusing on recovery, so added ice bath, we'll be adding compression and adding massage guns, changed one of our sports halls to a functional training gym, so adding kind of more recovery stuff there as well, focus more on sauna, steam, relaxation, so, and again, as opposed to fitness, kind of more wellness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like our members, they can come in and they have full access of everything, so they can go down and play a bit of basketball. We've added food as well, so they can go into the cafe, eat food, go train, sauna, steam, shave, bit of me time, everything. So that's part of what we're looking at.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Has anyone else noticed like a huge uptake in wellness? Like everyone's in the recovery, sauna, ice bath. It's not going anywhere. Again, and that's coming down to, you know, the consumer being a bit more sophisticated. They want to get as much out of their lifestyle as possible. They want to extend longevity. So for us, you know, having things like that in place, the guys being forward thinking around it, it does make a huge difference. So well done. Thanks for the share, guys. Let me see. I'll pick one more. Pick you guys here. Let's see. What do we got? Yeah. So when was the last time significant changes have been made, and what did you do, and how did it benefit you?
I suppose, full transparency, I'd say we haven't changed. I work just started a job there with the YMCA. So the YMCA in Ireland is the second oldest YMCA in the world, 175 years, and it's 30 years in Dublin. I'd say there hasn't been change in 30 years. But there's a great community element, and I think about building upon that, and the things, I suppose, what stood out for me was those little bits of pieces that you mentioned about the personal touch of like flowers on a birthday.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't, or how can you keep that as you kind of get bigger and don't lose that?
Yeah. I think for us it's all about the personal relationships, you know, like a bunch of flowers at 20 quid, it's not going to kill the business. and extending LTV by 12 months or 15 months, or someone bringing in a referral off the back of that, like I don't look at it as something that is a major cost to the business, because I know what we get on the back end from that. But I totally appreciate that costs can go high, especially on a lower ticket membership as well. And you've 500, 600, 1,000 members, 10,000 members, you know.
Well, I think taking down that element of and keeping that, I think it might not be flared, but it might be.
Yeah, it could be a card, even a card, you know, just having a bank of cards, anything there, you know.
A gesture of appreciation.
Absolutely. And I think that's one thing that everyone can do in the fitness space, especially when you're dealing with, you know, the 5,000, 6,000 member thing, is just constantly making people feel appreciated, and that's going to come down to your customer journey. So if you have a 2-year customer journey built out, you have automations through Ashbourne, you have little micro touch points that just flag up on your system. Huge difference for retention. Again, referrals that come off the back of that. Thank you very much. Cheers. Awesome. Let me see. One more, I'll just pick on you for this. So what's one thing that stood out for you the most?
I definitely think building community and making sure that you're retaining the people that you have in the door, rather than focusing getting on new people. It's all about retaining your current customers and making sure you're keeping them for 12 months plus.
Absolutely. Amazing. Thank you very much. Guys, just a show of hands, what's the average LTV that you guys have within your businesses at the minute? Like, how long does a client stay on average? So, show of hands, 0 to 6 months. Okay, it's good. 12 months?
Is this one not working?
I don't know.
They're temperamental.
Yeah, it's working. So, 0 to 6 months. Everyone's customers stay more than 6 months. 6 to 12 months. 2 years. And beyond then? 3 years, 5 years. What do you guys see with LTV?
So we one this year now, it'll be 50. We'll have one now in January, it'll be 50.
50 years?
50 years, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, no one's. I could have went on all day there. That's insane. That's incredible. 50 years. That's amazing. So what has changed over a 50-year span for that client? That's crazy. It's amazing. Oh. Guys, thank you very much. I didn't want to keep you all too long. I just wanted to interact with you guys, get a little bit, get the room moving a little bit, and just to promote some thought-provoking questions for you guys. Again, I think the semi-private model inside independent gyms can work really well. Great for upskilling team, great for promoting longer LTV with your staff as well, and also gives them more of an earning potential, more independence too. So things like that introducing into your business, because semi-private's popping up everywhere, but it's a really good way for you to boost margin and profit. Just finished 2 days of mastermind and Inside Fitness Entrepreneur. We've got semi-private gyms there doing $1 million plus a year. So if you already have the ecosystem of your big member base, introducing semi-private is something that will definitely make a huge difference to growing your company, growing the culture, and overall just improving the membership experience again. But guys, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it.